as Alex stepped into the dimly lit foyer of his new apartment. The air felt thick with an unshakable tension. The walls, painted a muted beige, seemed to close in on him, a stark contrast to the bright future he envisioned. His heart raced with a mix of excitement and anxiety. This was his chance to start over after the painful breakup that had left him feeling hollow. "Looks good, right?" Sam clapped a hand on Alex's shoulder, his voice cheerful, but Alex detected a hint of skepticism behind it. "Yeah, I guess," Alex replied, forcing a smile as he glanced around the space. Yet, the arrangement of furniture felt slightly off, as if the previous tenant had left subtle clues of their life behind. The sofa, just a tad too close to the wall, made the room feel cramped. He shrugged it off, chalking it up to his overactive imagination. "Let's unpack. You've got a fresh start waiting for you," Sam urged, already hauling a box labeled kitchen. As they began to unpack, Alex noticed the subtle sounds of the apartment, creaking floorboards that echoed like whispers, and the faint hum of the refrigerator that felt almost sentient. Each sound gripped his attention, making him glance over his shoulder. "Are you sure this place isn't haunted?" he joked, trying to lighten the mood. "Haunted? Please. You're just imagining things," Sam laughed, but there was a nervous edge to his laughter. "You've been through a lot, and moving here is a big change. Just give it time." Alex nodded, but felt a chill run down his spine. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him, lurking just out of sight. He took a deep breath and focused on the task at hand, but as the hours ticked by, the unease only grew. As night fell, shadows danced across the walls, and the apartment transformed into a maze of dark corners. Alex sat on his new sofa, staring at the untouched boxes scattered around him. "What if it's just my mind playing tricks?" he mused aloud. "Exactly. You're fine," Sam reassured him, though Alex could see the uncertainty in his friend's eyes. "Let's just binge watch something. It'll take your mind off it." "Sure," Alex replied, though he couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. As they settled in front of the TV, the glow of the screen illuminated the room, but it did little to dispel the shadows lurking in the corners. In that moment, Alex realized he was not just moving into a new apartment. He was stepping into a web of unknowns, and he couldn't help but feel that he was not alone. As days turned into weeks, the initial thrill of his new apartment began to fade, replaced by a growing sense of unease. Alex would often find himself staring at the same corner of the room, convinced he could feel a presence lurking just beyond his line of sight. The furniture appeared to shift when he wasn't looking, subtle changes that left him questioning his own sanity. One evening, as he returned home from work, he noticed the coffee table was positioned slightly askew. He could have sworn he had left it perfectly aligned with the couch. Shaking his head, he decided it was just another manifestation of his overactive imagination. "Everything all right?" Sam asked, raising an eyebrow as he plopped down on the sofa. "Just weird stuff," Alex replied, running a hand through his hair. "I feel like I'm imagining things. Like the furniture is moving." "Dude, you're just tired. You need to take a break," Sam said, though there was a hint of concern in his voice. "How about we go out this weekend? Get some fresh air." "Yeah, maybe," Alex said absently, his mind elsewhere. That night, as he settled into bed, a sudden flicker in the dark drew his attention. The TV turned on by itself, the screen glowing ominously in the dark room. His heart raced as he reached for the remote, fumbling with the buttons. The familiar show he had been watching just hours earlier played out in front of him, but the sound felt distorted, as if someone were whispering just beneath the dialogue. He quickly turned it off, convinced this was another trick of his mind. The following day, he encountered Mrs. Thompson, his enigmatic neighbor, in the dimly lit hallway. She was an elderly woman, her her hair silver and her eyes clouded with age. She had always given him a strange feeling, but today she seemed particularly intense. "You should be careful, young man," she warned, her voice low and shaky. "This building has a history, you see. Not all spirits are friendly." Alex chuckled nervously, dismissing her words. "I'm sure it's just an old building. Nothing to worry about." Her gaze intensified. "You think that, but there are things you don't understand. You should listen to the whispers." He felt a shiver run down his spine, but he waved her off, retreating into his apartment. As the door clicked shut behind him, he leaned against it, trying to shake off her ominous words. In the solitude of his living room, doubt gnawed at him. Was he truly losing his grip on reality? The thought of visiting a therapist flickered in his mind, but he hesitated. He didn't want to be labeled as paranoid or delusional. Late that night, after another unsettling day, he faced a mirror in the bathroom. "Am I going crazy?" he whispered to his reflection, the echo of his voice bouncing back at him. Just then, a loud crash startled him from his thoughts. Rushing into the living room, he discovered the picture frame he had hung just days before lying shattered on the floor. The glass glittered ominously, reflecting the dim light of the room. "Okay, this has to stop," he muttered, his heart pounding in his chest. He felt the familiar chill creep up his spine, an undeniable sense of being watched washing over him. He sank onto the couch, the weight of his fears heavy on his shoulders. Maybe Mrs. Thompson was right. Maybe he needed to confront whatever was haunting him before it drove him to the brink of madness. Determined to uncover the truth behind the unsettling happenings in his apartment, Alex devised a plan. He rummaged through boxes until he found the small camera he had used for his vlogs back in college. Setting it up in the corner of his bedroom, he pointed it toward the living room, where most of the strange occurrences had taken place. As he adjusted the angle, he felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. "This is it," he muttered to himself, a nervous smile creeping across his face. "Tonight I'll catch you." He settled into bed, the camera quietly recording. The moonlight streamed through the window, casting shadows that danced across the walls. Sleep came reluctantly, his mind racing with possibilities. In the dead of night, the camera captured what Alex could not. The next morning, he woke to the sound of chirping birds outside, the sunlight spilling into his apartment. He rushed to the camera, heart pounding in anticipation. As he reviewed the footage, he felt a chill run down his spine. The video revealed his coffee table shifting on its own, a slight nudge that seemed to defy the laws of physics. His breath caught in his throat as he saw the dim outline of a figure crossing the frame, just at the edge of his vision. He leaned closer, squinting at the screen. "No way," he whispered, disbelief flooding his mind. Just then, his phone buzzed, interrupting his thoughts. It was a message from Sam. "Hey man, are we still on for lunch today? You've been quiet." Alex hesitated before replying, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. He wanted to share what he had discovered, but part of him feared Sam's reaction. "Yeah, I'll be there," he finally typed, deciding it was best not to worry his friend further. During lunch, Sam could sense that something was off. "You seem distracted," he said, concern etched on his face. "What's going on with you? You're not still thinking about that old lady's warnings, are you?" "It's not just her," Alex replied, his voice a mix of frustration and excitement. "I set up a camera. I caught something last night." "Caught what?" "A ghost." Sam chuckled, but his laughter was strained. "Alex, you need to stop this. You're getting obsessed. It's not just a phase." Alex shot back, his voice rising. "I need to know what's happening. I can't just ignore it." Sam sighed, leaning back in his chair. "Look, I get it. You're going through a rough time, but this isn't healthy. You're spiraling into this rabbit hole of paranoia." Alex felt a pang of guilt. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't understand. I feel like I'm not alone. Like something is watching me. Then let's go do something normal, Sam suggested, trying to bring some levity back into the conversation. You need a break. Let's hit the arcade or something. I can't, Alex replied, shaking his head. I've got to figure this out. Frustrated by their conversation, Sam pushed his plate away. All right, but I'm serious. If you start losing touch with reality, I'm not sure how to help you. As they parted ways, Alex felt conflicted. Sam's concern echoed in his mind, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of discovering something monumental. That evening, he turned to an online forum dedicated to paranormal experiences, where people share their own stories of hauntings and inexplicable events. Reading through the posts, he found solace in the shared experiences. Others had felt the same chill, seen the same shadows, and questioned their own sanity. It ignited a fire within him, a curiosity that pushed him further down the path he had started. Maybe I'm not alone in this, he murmured to himself, feeling a sense of belonging for the first time since moving. As he typed out a post detailing his experiences, he felt a weird sense of camaraderie with the strangers online. But deep down, a nagging doubt lingered. Was he truly seeking the truth? Or was he slowly losing himself to the very darkness he was attempting to confront? As the days turned into sleepless nights, Alex's obsession with the strange occurrences in his apartment grew. The footage from the camera replayed in his mind, each frame etched into his consciousness. He found himself diving deeper into research, scouring the internet for any hint of what might be haunting him. He had just finished an article about the psychology of hauntings when his phone buzzed, breaking the silence. The screen displayed an unknown number. Hesitating for a moment, he answered, his heart racing. "Hello," he said, trying to mask his unease. "Alex," a gravelly voice responded, sending a chill down his spine. "He knows you saw it." "What?" Alex stammered, his pulse quickening. "Who is this?" But the line went dead. The ominous message echoed in his mind, leaving him in a state of heightened paranoia. He paced the room, glancing over his shoulder as if the unseen presence was lurking just out of sight. What did it mean? Who was watching him? The very thought sent shivers through his body. He sank onto the couch, grappling with a mix of fear and intrigue. He needed to talk to Sam, but the last encounter had been tense. Would he understand what was happening, or would he dismiss it as another sign of Alex's unraveling? The next day, Alex met Sam at their usual coffee shop, the comforting aroma of brewing coffee doing little to soothe his frayed nerves. Sam looked up from his drink as Alex approached, concern etched on his face. "Hey, you all right?" Sam asked, noticing the dark circles under Alex's eyes. "I got a call last night," Alex blurted out, unable to contain the urgency in his voice. "Someone warned me that he knows I saw it." Sam's brows furrowed, skepticism creeping into his expression. "You sure it wasn't just a prank? You've been really into this ghost stuff lately." "No, Sam, it felt real," Alex insisted, leaning closer, lowering his voice. "I can't explain it, but terrified me. Something is going on, and I need your help." "Help with what?" "Running through every ghost story and conspiracy theory you can find," Sam replied, frustration seeping into his tone. "You're losing touch, man. This isn't healthy. I'm trying to understand." Alex shot back, his voice rising. "What if it's not just in my head? What if there really is something here?" "Then let's go to the arcade, or do something fun." "You need a break from this madness," Sam urged, his voice softer now. "We can't let this consume you." "It already is," Alex shouted, drawing the attention of nearby patrons. He felt the weight of Sam's gaze, a mix of concern and disappointment. "I can't just ignore it, Sam. I have to know." Sam sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "Okay, But if this obsession continues, I'm worried about you. Just promise me you'll keep it in check." Alex nodded, the fear and anxiety swirling within him. As they finished their drinks in silence, he felt the familiar chill creeping back, as if something was lurking just beyond the cafe's walls. That night, he dove back into his research, the cryptic call fueling his determination to uncover the truth behind the haunting. He stumbled upon online forums discussing the concept of being watched during hauntings, where users shared their own chilling experiences. One post caught his attention. "When you feel observed, it's often because something is trying to connect. Pay attention to the signs." The words resonated with him, echoing the fear that had settled in his bones. All the pieces were falling into place, and yet the more he searched for answers, the more tangled his thoughts became. Was he truly seeking the truth, or was he just feeding into his own delusions? The line between reality and the supernatural blurred as he tried to make sense of the chaos engulfing him. Determined to uncover the truth behind his apartment, Alex dove headfirst into research. The glow of his laptop illuminated the dark corners of his living room, casting long shadows that seemed to creep closer as the night deepened. He started with the building's history, combing through online archives and local newspapers. Each click of the mouse was a step deeper into a web of unsettling tales. He stumbled upon a forum dedicated to haunted locations, where users recounted their experiences in various buildings, including his own. One particular post caught his eye. It spoke of a woman named Clara, the last tenant of his apartment, who had mysteriously vanished without a trace 2 years prior. The post detailed her struggles with isolation and depression, echoing the very feelings Alex had been grappling with since his breakup. "Clara's story is eerily similar to mine," he muttered to himself, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was somehow connected to her plight. The weight of loneliness pressed down on him, a reminder of the void left by his lost relationship. As he continued to dig, he received a message from a local historian, an elderly man named Mr. Jenkins, who claimed to have insights into the building's dark past. The message was cryptic but intriguing. "The walls whisper secrets. Listen closely." Feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation, Alex replied, arranging to meet Mr. Jenkins at a nearby diner. The next day, he found himself seated across from the historian, who wore a weathered hat and an expression that spoke of countless stories untold. "Your apartment," Mr. Jenkins began, his voice low and gravelly, "holds memories that should not be forgotten. Clara was not the first to experience the darkness within those walls." "What do you mean?" Alex pressed, leaning forward, his heart racing. "What happened to her?" The old man took a sip of his coffee, his eyes glistening with a mix of sorrow and intrigue. "Clara was a sensitive soul, much like you. She felt the weight of the past bearing down on her. Many have lived there before her, each leaving a piece of themselves behind. But she was special. The last time anyone saw her, she was speaking about the Watcher, a presence that tormented her." "The Watcher?" Alex echoed, feeling the hairs on his neck prickle. "What does that mean?" "It's the entity that connects with those who reside there," Mr. Jenkins explained, his voice dropping to a whisper. "It feeds on their fears and loneliness. Clara feared it would take her, and in a way it did." Alex's mind raced with the implications. Was this presence linked to his own experiences? Was he being watched too? As he left the diner, the chilling realization settled in. He wasn't just uncovering Clara's story. He was uncovering his own vulnerabilities, his own struggles. The specter of loneliness had been haunting him long before he moved into the apartment, and now it seemed to have taken a physical form. That night, as he lay in bed, He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being observed. The shadows danced along the walls, whispering secrets only he could hear. He recalled Clara's story, and for the first time, he felt a sense of urgency to confront the darkness that loomed not just in his apartment, but within himself. He opened his laptop again, determined to find out more about Clara's life. Each article he read about her disappearance deepened his connection to her struggle. With every detail, he felt a pull, as if their fates were intertwined. Perhaps by understanding her, he could also understand the haunting that plagued him. As dawn broke, Alex made a decision. He would not only unearth the past of his apartment, but also confront the shadows of his own life. It was time to face the loneliness head-on and discover what truly lay behind the facade of his new beginning. As the days turned into weeks, the unsettling events in Alex's apartment escalated to a level he could no longer ignore. Shadows seemed to stretch and twist in the corners of his vision, and the chilling sense of being watched weighed heavily on him. Nights were the worst. Sleep eluded him, leaving him alone with his thoughts and the creeping dread that permeated his waking hours. One particularly restless night, Alex found himself jolted awake by a sudden coldness in the room. The air felt electric, charged with an energy that made his skin crawl. He instinctively glanced toward the corner of the room, where darkness pooled like ink. That's when he saw it, a shadowy figure, silent and still, watching him with a malevolent intensity. Who are you?" Alex stammered, his voice barely above a whisper as he sat up, heart racing. The figure did not respond. It simply loomed, the outline indistinct yet profoundly unsettling. With a surge of courage, he reached for the lamp on his bedside table, fumbling with the switch. Light flooded the room, illuminating the walls, but casting the shadow into deeper obscurity. "Show yourself," he demanded, anger replacing fear for a fleeting moment. The figure remained, an embodiment of dread. In that moment, Alex felt the weight of his recent struggles. The breakup, the loneliness, the haunting that seemed to echo his own internal battles. It was as if the figure was a manifestation of all his fears. "Alex!" A voice broke through the tension, jolting him from his stupor. It was Sam, his friend, who had recently grown concerned about Alex's obsession with the supernatural. He burst into the room, eyes wide with alarm. "What's going on? I heard you yelling. Did you see it?" Alex pointed toward the corner, but the figure had vanished, leaving only the shadows behind. "There was something there, Sam. I swear." Sam stepped closer, glancing around the room, skepticism etched on his face. "You need to stop this, man. You're scaring yourself over nothing. Maybe it's just stress from everything that's happened." "Stress." Alex snapped, frustration bubbling to the surface. "You don't understand. This isn't just in my head. It's real." "Then let's talk about it," Sam urged, his tone softer, trying to bridge the growing chasm between them. "You've been shutting me out, diving into this obsession. I'm worried about you, Alex. I'm trying to figure this out." Alex snapped back, regretting the harshness in his tone when he saw the hurt in Sam's eyes. "I can't just ignore it. Clara's story, it's all connected." "Clara," Sam echoed, stepping back, his brows furrowing in confusion. "You can't keep fixating on her. You need to focus on your life, not some ghost story." "Maybe Clara's story is a warning," Alex argued, his voice rising with emotion. "Maybe it speaks to what I'm going through. I can't just walk away from it. I have to confront it." The tension in the room thickened, each word a heavy stone tossed into turbulent waters. Sam opened his mouth to respond, but the weight of unspoken words hung between them, a chasm filled with unacknowledged fears and frustrations. As Sam finally let out a resigned sigh, Alex felt a pang of guilt. "I am sorry, Some. I feel so lost, he admitted, his voice cracking. I thought this was my chance for a new beginning, but all I see is darkness. I know, Sam replied gently, stepping closer again. But you don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you, even if it doesn't seem like it. Just let's process this together, okay? The sincerity in Sam's eyes broke through the fog of Alex's isolation. He recognized that in pushing Sam away, he was only deepening his own despair. Okay, he said softly, the weight of his fears still heavy on his shoulders. But I need to confront this, whatever it is. That night, as Alex lay in bed, the shadows danced along the walls, whispering their secrets. But this time he felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps by confronting the darkness together with Sam, he could finally face the fears that had haunted him for so long. It was time to unearth the truth, not just about the shadowy figure, but about himself. As dawn broke over the city, casting a golden hue through the apartment windows, Alex sat on the edge of his bed, his mind racing with what had transpired the night before. The encounter with the shadowy figure had left him shaken, yet strangely invigorated. He felt as though he had crossed a threshold, but the uncertainty of what lay ahead loomed over him like a specter of its own. Sam, can we talk? Alex said, looking up as his friend entered the room, the remnants of sleep still clinging to his face. Yeah, of course, Sam replied, rubbing his eyes. Last night was intense. You really think you made a connection with that spirit? I did. At least I think I did, Alex said, running a hand through his hair. But it's complicated. I felt her pain, Sam. I understood her in a way that makes me question everything I thought I knew about this place. Sam leaned against the doorframe, concern etched across his features. But what does that mean for you? Are you saying you want to stay here? To keep digging into this? I don't know, Alex admitted, his voice wavering. Part of me feels like I need to uncover more about Clara's story. But another part of me, he hesitated, the weight of his choices pressing down on him. What if it's not just about her? What if I'm opening a door that can't be closed? Maybe it's time to close it, Sam offered gently, stepping into the room and closing the door behind him. You've been through so much. You don't have to keep facing this alone, you know? I know, Alex said quietly. But what if staying here, facing this, is what I need to truly heal? I can't run away from my past. And maybe Clara's story is entwined with mine in ways I don't fully understand yet. Sam sighed, his frustration evident. I get I do. But what about us? What about our friendship? You're obsessing over this, and I'm worried you're losing sight of reality. Losing sight? Alex shot back, his voice rising. This is my reality, Sam. If I walk away now, it feels like I'm abandoning Clara, abandoning myself. I don't want to become a ghost in my own life. Then don't, Sam replied, his tone softening. But you have to find a balance. We can't let this destroy what we have. Alex turned away, gazing out the window at the city waking up. I wish I knew what to do. I'm scared of what I might find, but I'm even more terrified of what I might lose if I just walk away. Just then, a sudden chill swept through the apartment, causing Alex to shiver involuntarily. Did you feel that? He asked, his heart racing. Yeah, Sam said, his eyes widening. What the hell was that? I think she's trying to reach me again, Alex whispered, feeling an inexplicable pull towards the living room. I have to go to her. I can't ignore this. Wait, Alex, Sam called out, but Alex was already moving, drawn by a force he couldn't explain. The air felt charged with energy as he approached the spot where the shadow had first appeared. Clara, he called out, his voice steady despite the tremors in his hands. If you're here, please show me what you want to see. The room fell eerily silent, and for a moment, Alex felt as if time had stopped. Then, slowly, a figure began to materialize before him, the same shadowy outline that had haunted him. But this time it was different. The figure flickered, revealing glimpses of a woman surrounded by soft light, her expression a mixture of sorrow and hope. "Alex," she whispered, her voice echoing in the stillness. "You must understand, it's not just about me. It's about breaking the cycle of pain. You have the power to set us both free." "What do you mean?" Alex asked, feeling a rush of emotion. "What do I need to do?" "Face the truth of your past. Embrace your fears," she implored, her form becoming more defined. "Only then can you truly find peace. You're not alone in this." Just as Alex began to comprehend, the figure began to fade away, leaving behind an overwhelming sense of urgency. "Wait, Clara!" he cried, reaching out, but she was gone. "Alex!" Sam shouted, rushing to his side. "What just happened?" "I think I understand now," Alex said, panting. "It's not just about Clara or the apartment. It's about me facing everything I've tried to run from. I have to confront my fears, my past. But what does that mean for us?" Sam asked, anxiety lacing his voice. "Are you saying you want to stay here to keep chasing this?" "I don't know," Alex admitted, feeling a mix of determination and dread. "But I can't leave without understanding what Clara wants from me. This could be my chance to heal, to break free from everything that binds me." As they stood together in the aftermath of the revelation, the tension between them hung in the air. The choices ahead felt monumental, a crossroads that would define their journey. Would they face the unknown together, or would the shadows of the past pull them apart? "I can't promise I'll have all the answers," Alex said, meeting Sam's gaze with vulnerability. "But I have to try. For both of us." Sam took a deep breath, his expression softening. "Then I'll be right here with you. Just promise me you won't lose yourself in this." "I promise," Alex replied, a flicker of hope igniting in his chest. But deep down, he knew that the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, and the true nature of the revelation still lingered, an unresolved mystery waiting to unfold.